Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the CSSv2 scan for Tuesday, February 11th, 2014. Well, a couple of snafus yesterday. First of all, my audio quit working, so I had to chop the video into two. And then, after I set it all up to upload to YouTube, well, I forgot to upload it to YouTube. That's pretty bright, isn't it? Anyway, I did upload it this morning, so if you want to take a look at it, you can. There's some interesting things in there that you might want to take a look at, but nothing earth-shattering, except that we had a setup on Costco and CVX. And you'll see I actually entered Costco yesterday. All right, what's going on today? Well, Janet Yellen is going to speak. So, Auntie-Yellen, that sort of sounds like Auntie-Ellen. I like that. Okay, Auntie-Yellen is going to talk today. I guess that's about it as far as the planned news announcements are concerned. Let's take a look across the ponds, and we're green in Asia and green in Europe, and a healthy green, nothing really fantastic, but a healthy green. That's a nice complementary picture, isn't it? Alright, and Tesla here, doing pretty good. Actually doing very, very good. Alright, so let's just jump right over into the futures here in the U.S., and we're looking at a green or a gap up at the open here, which we are probably going to end up here. Let's look at the ES. Yeah, we're looking at a pretty healthy opening here now. Are we going to come up here? Is this going to act as resistance? And are we going to reverse and go back down? I find this kind of interesting right here, that the stochastic has turned red. MACD is flattening out. These are big candle days, and then these are much smaller candle days, which is probably the reason why stochastic is bending down a little bit here. On the gold front, wow, we're up to 1283. That is just super. And oil, oh my God, is at $100. Oh, geez. I don't like this at all. This is not good. Okay, so we have a top here at about 100. So is this going to act as resistance? Big candles, small candles, up at resistance. Let's hope that it does act as resistance. All right. Then yesterday, let's take a look here at the account. Yesterday I did open up, or I did sell a call on this on GLD, and I did an April 134 call on that. I also entered into Costco. Let's take a look at the chart here. We got a downtrend. Several waves into the downtrend. Actually, this is the second wave into the downtrend. So we opened one up here at, I believe, 127, or I mean 113 is where our short is. I don't know where 127 came from. But that's where the short is. So we're counting on that one to come down and provide us a few extra bucks. It's only $1 spread, so I did 4 of them. I just did the $1 spread. When I looked at the $2 spread, I couldn't get my 1-to-1 risk reward anymore. It moved significantly off of that. And it's probably because of, if we take a look at the actual strikes, as we look here, if I wanted to stretch this out, say, up to do a 113, 115 strike. There's a big drop off in delta here. I like to, usually delta is a little tighter, and here maybe with this low price of a stock it would have been better if there was 50 cents. But it doesn't matter because ultimately it still ends up being a one-to-one trade, and you know, because it's such a low price stock, it's not going to bring in a whole heck of a lot of money. So I did, well, let's go here. Let's take a look here on the Analyze tab. I'll go back here to all accounts. So I risked 400 to make 400. Oops, I didn't think it was that much. 180 and 220. So that's almost a one-to-one risk reward. I have to remember to get rid of these things. Okay, and then the other thing was the covered call, and I wanted to just show you an illustration here quickly before we get into the actual scan. We're looking at the spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of this. So I opened it up, I sold it for 43 cents to April 134, and this is the actual strike price. And when I was doing my, this is the strike price of the short. And when I was doing my research, I looked at April and I said, well, what about the 133 strike? Well, the 133 strike would bring me 52 cents, but if it gets called out, I'd end up with only a 4.47% gain, whereas if I just eat a little crow here and keep with that 134 spread, I take in less money, but if I get called out, I get $5.11. So at 133, it's 4.47, and at 132, it was 3.82, 131, 3.18, and finally at 130, 2.6. Now, the other side of the equation is, did you want to like go with one of these and then roll it? No, I wanted to keep this as mindless as possible. So, you know, if I forget about it or whatever and it gets called out, it gets called out. I've had it longer than 6 months. It's now a long-term trade. You know, the tax rate is less, at least for right now, if you're in a taxable account. So I am just going to stick with that. But just to let you know, I do have an alert in. Let's see, GLD. I put an alert in at 131 in case it, you know, it creeps up there and I'm not paying any attention to it, which happens. So I can always roll it when it gets up here, and that's probably what I would do. All right. I think that's enough about that one. What else do we have here? Calendars aren't doing, they're doing sort of okay. They could be doing better. Here's the Costco trade that I got into yesterday. Here's these calendars. They did make a little bit yesterday, but not much. And then the calendars down here are not doing well at all. And they're a little bit short term. I probably should put them out in March. But if we continue to have error at that resistance at 1800 holds, you know, we might go up there today, might even, you know, poke our head above it, but if it pulls back and closes around there, then that could be a sign. And gold here is interesting, and that it's really starting to take off, and so is oil. So the commodities, I guess maybe, I don't know. Not sure exactly why that's doing that. But regardless, let's jump right into the last scan. And it's going to be, let's see here. The next video is going to be on the 24th. I'm going to make a note of that. And then there will not be, well, let's see, March 1st. Yeah, you can't see what I'm looking at here, but calendar down here, 24th, we'll have videos all that week. And then March 1st is a Saturday, and we head back to Ohio, and we will be there Sunday afternoon or early evening. And that's what the schedule looks like for right now. Okay, let's jump into the scan here. Apple flattening out, nothing going on there. Don't want to touch that. Amazon. Amazon looking a little weak here yesterday, even though the rest of the NASDAQ did quite well. So maybe we might be looking at a pullback here. So check this out. This is the first cycle after a new downtrend, a trend change. So the first cycle, we're going to leave it alone from now on. All right. So we'll take a pass on that one. Boeing, looking the same. Started out pretty good yesterday. We have a little hook down here. So we'll see what happens with that one. We have the calendar. So that's what we're looking at for that for right now. Baidu, looking pretty strong. Might be moving back up to that 50 and poking its head above it. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Celgene, it looks like it might be working on its first cycle after a trend change. Chipotle, doing quite handsomely, but no setups there at all. Oops, Costco, we looked at that one. CVX, we did get our hook down in the morning, and I watched it, came in a couple times during the day to take a look at it, and it wasn't giving the signal on the MACD. So it's not complete yet. We'll give it one more day. And I'm counting this as a cycle here. It doesn't have to be a 2080 cycle, just a cycle. Okay. Enron, nothing there. FedEx failed its setup. The calendar might work out very well on that. Gold, nothing happening there. New trend. Google, I'm not ready for prime time now. Maybe we're going to come down here and maybe we might get a setup there. So let's get our target up. And we'll be looking for something down there. IWM. Oops. I talk to myself a lot. We have a March calendar in IWM. Looking kind of a little weak here. We'll see how it works out though. We never know. New trend, need a full cycle. LinkedIn. Still looking pretty weak on LinkedIn. No setup there though. MasterCard. Oh, that's interesting. Nothing going there though. No setup. We have flipping around here on the trend, so we're going to have to wait a while on MasterCard. 3M. Still in the, well, let's see here. This is a cycle. We're counting this as a cycle. So we have, I'm counting it as a cycle. This is looking pretty weak to me anyway. And we got an 85-cent dividend, so we know 85 cents is going to be taken out of the price of the stock right away. I think that we have an alert on this one. So, but be careful with it is all I can say. So we're looking for at or below, and our close was 129.70, so maybe we'll look for 129.25 or 129.20. Let's make it 129 even. How's that sound? Sounds pretty good to me. You gotta prove it to me, Triple M. All right, Netflix. Still on a tear. No setup there. Price line also on a tear. No setup at this time. Russell. And no setup there. New trend. Need a full cycle. SPX. New trend. Need a full cycle. Tesla is taking off. New high yesterday. 199.30. Okay, so now we're looking for we're going to put a target down here. And that's where we are with Tesla. And last, but certainly not least, is Visa. Looking much better than MasterCard at this time. But no setup there yet. Might be headed for one here. Alright, that's it for today. It'll be good if I remember to upload this thing. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. And above all, happy trading.